bought a hybrid 20-year-old BMW with 30% interest? Come on, bro. Everybody says, Yusuf, I can't afford this. I want to buy that. I want to buy this. You don't need it. Live within your means. Make better decisions in this new coming year. Work towards a better future.
Hello?
Hey, brother, how are you?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Not
How
much.
you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So I'm just giving you a call. I know you sent me a message trying to get out of your situation. You got a 28% interest loan on a 2013 BMW. Which is absolutely wild. You already know. I know you watch my videos.
It is
wild.
Of course, man. My boy put me on, and honestly, at that time, my credit was real bad. I don't even bad is an understatement at the time, but I needed a whip because my car had got flooded in Miami, and then I had to move. I moved to Texas now. I just bought a house. I mean, my credit's way better now.
I hope so.
They just approved me for the auto loan at American Airlines Credit Union. They gave me up to 80 grand, but I don't want to spend 80 grand. I'm very cheap.
Listen, at a 5.6% interest rate for a new car, that's amazing. How much do you owe on the 2013 BMW, and what type of BMW is it?
It's an Active 5 hybrid.
You bought a hybrid 20-year-old BMW with 30% interest? Come on, bro. Oh, I got to readjust myself in the seat.
I'm from LA, man. We love old whips, man. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, but the hybrid is what the problem is, right? I know those hybrids aren't the most reliable, especially the first iterations. BMW is trying its best. Yeah. How much do you have left on the loan?
So, man, with that interest rate, I owe like $9,080, $800, something like that.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're not that bad off. Relatively speaking, it's bad, but it's not. If you're getting $1,500 and you owe $8 grand, I mean, you're what, $6, $7 grand underneath? I would try to sell it.
I was giving an estimate though.
Oh,
I was giving an estimate of what he was saying. They didn't actually give me like. They were like, oh, it could be 15, it could be 1,000. I was just like, all right, well, play with the numbers so I can see what's going on. I need to know so I can make moves because I got to get rid of this thing.
Try to sell a private party. You can roll over that negative equity, but the problem is like you have to find a dealer that's willing to trade it in. You know what I mean? But it's not something where you would have to explain to him like, hey, I have an $80,000 approval. Obviously, you don't want to use all of it. And then you're like, hey, I want to buy a $30,000 or $40,000 car, but 8 of it I want you to give me for the trade-in for this BMW, and then I'll use the rest on something. You either really have to know the dealership to do that, or you're going to have to give the dealership some sort of leeway on like letting them make money on a warranty or something. It's just the best way for you is to get out of this is just to sell a private party. I'm sure you can get $5 grand for that car, private party on Facebook, and then you just pay $3 grand difference. But if you don't want to do that, then the only way is to, yes, you would have to also see the loan to value. You can't just add $9 grand or $8 grand willy-nilly on any car. The car would have to book out appropriately, especially when it comes to like when they underwrite a car. So like, let's say a car's worth 10 grand and you're coming in saying, hey, I want to add the $7,000 negative equity. I'm sure your American Airlines credit union will say, hey, we'll do up to 120%. So they'll do 12,000.
Yeah,
so you got to come out.
Tell me 125.
125. On that 10 grand example, they'll do 12,500, but the rest you're gonna have to come out of pocket. So you have to find a car that's really underneath market value in order to come out of pocket, or you gotta put money down. Are you willing to put money down?
I don't want to. I actually found a car that I wanted. I'm having another kid, so.
Congratulations, man.
I was like, you know what? Thank you, man. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be smart. My credit is better. They ran me at 704.
Okay.
Than what it was before.
That's awesome.
I bought the house first, so I moved in already. I just moved in like 2 weeks.
Congratulations. Look at that. You're setting up 2026 to be a winner. Look at that.
Man, I'm trying, man. It's all just patience. The only reason I want to get rid of my Beamer is because we need a bigger car because we're going to have 2 car seats. So it's like, that's kind of tough. Put in the Beamer. And my Beamer is starting to like phase out. It's going to start giving me problems. I need to get a family car, something more reliable. I was looking at the Durango because my wife wants a third row. I'm like, I don't want to get no mom car. And if I got to turn it in, then I might as well get something sporty. So I found a Durango. I looked at the new ones, but I don't want to spend new money, like 60 grand. I found a used one with 30,000 miles. It's a 2023 RT, only one owner. All the service records on there. It's going for 38. The credit union, I talked to them this morning. She said that they probably can make it work. I want to get the price down off of the Durango. Like, I'm already got my pre-approval. I don't want to finance a dealership. The only thing is that the dealership, it's not like a Dodge. It's a European auto sales, one of those type of places. I'm trying to get the price down. I want to get as close as possible. Like, I don't want to be paying a whole bunch of money.
I hear you, man.
Not like cheap. I'd rather enjoy my life, but I do need more reliable family car, but I don't want to have a car, if that makes sense.
I hear you, but here's the thing, right? You're saying a 2023 Dodge Durango RT, they're selling it to you at 40 grand, correct? With 30,000 miles?
It's really like 38,499 online.
Let's just call it $40,000 just to round it up. If you go and Google or you go on the marketplace and you see a 2022 1 year older, they're going between $35,000 and $45,000, between $26,000 all the way up to $32,000. So off the bat, 1 year later, you're going to lose 10 grand. To understand the depreciation on these Dodge Durangos, it definitely hit unless it's like a brass monkey, Hellcat, whatever. I tell people stay away from those because there's only two types of Hellcats, right? Ones that are stolen or they're going to be stolen. So you attract too much attention. You went to go get a 2026 quote and they were charging $60,000.
Yeah, they wanted 60.
Do you have the out-the-door sheet for that? Because right now I'm Googling promotions from a lot of these Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram places. They're going for $40,000 for a 2026 Dodge Durango RT.
No, you know what? It might have been an SR. That one was 60. The regular one, the GT one, I did see for 40. I don't want a GT.
This is an RT. I'm looking at it right now. It says RT and there's an RT Plus. They're going between 39 and 43,000. Go to Google and just put in a 2026 Dodge Durango RT. Now, I'm not saying that'll be out the door price, right? I'm sure they're going to add their fees and everything.
I was reading. I'm hoping that this Texas law passed for veterans. If I get 25, me being a veteran, you get 25,000 of sales tax item. So I'm hoping that goes through tomorrow. I'm just hoping it will.
Absolutely. I'm looking at the sticker of a Dodge Durango GT blacktop all-wheel drive Hemi V8. Sticker on it is $47,000. I doubt that you're going to get it as sticker, but you never know. I would rather pay $7-8 grand more for a brand new 2026 than pay $40,000 plus taxes and fees for a 2023. Those do depreciate. If you want a good family car that doesn't look like a soccer mom car, it's just sometimes, man, you got to give and take, man. So what I would do is I would genuinely look at the Jeep Grand Wagoneers. They have depreciated like crazy. People were calling me when they paid $120,000 to $130,000 for these Jeep Wagoneers. Now they're like 40, 50, 60 grand. And they may not be something that looks like fast and sporty, but you got third row. You can get TVs. It's very comfortable. It's big. It's sort of like the size of the Suburban and the Escalades. Some people complain about reliability, but other people just complain about, hey, Yusuf, I'm $60,000 underneath on this Jeep Wagoneer. What do I do? So now you can come at a good price now and buy a 22 or 23 or 24 at a heavily discounted price.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's why I'm not really a big fan. Like now I'm getting older, I'm not a big fan of like cars because like, excuse me, but I'd rather keep buying more properties. Like,
to be fair, this is new you. Old you was taking 30% loans on a 2013 BMW. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, patience, man. Go to the dealership, see what you can get new and used, and just compare. Shop the deal. I tell people all the time, you want the best out-the-door price, don't take the first option. Call the dealership, ask them for an out-the-door price. If they don't want to do that, don't play with them, man, because you're going to go there, they're going to play games with you. They're going to try to get you sit there for 3-4 hours. Now you're tired. Now they've already sold you on this, and you just like, let's just get it done. I'm telling you, if you are true in your words of patience, take your time, take 2 or 3 days, wait for this law to pass. If it doesn't, cool. At least you have 3 or 4 deals in front of you, and call the dealership. Be like, yo, I got this dealership out in Texas. I got this dealership out in Houston, whatever. Can you beat their numbers? And then boom, now you got your pre-approval. Shop the deal, make sure you get everything good, and you don't want to be in a situation where you go buy an SRT or a Hellcat Durango for 80, 90 grand. And the next year you're calling me saying, yo, Yusuf, what can I give you? And I'm going to give you 60. It's pretty much just as bad as signing for that 30% interest auto loan.
No, that's true. I'm trying to see if I can get private sale for the other one as is.
Clean it up. You may get 6 grand for it. You never know. Just as long as you're upfront and honest about any issues it does, you don't allow karma to hit you, you should be good.
All right. I'll shoot for that then. I'll try that. I've been looking at different options, not tied to the Durango. I've just been looking at exploring my options. At least I have some time on my hands. I also got a better interest rate. So, I mean, it's not 5% is not the greatest. It's almost like 20% different in interest.
100%. Listen, at the end of the day, too, like, you'll be in a better position when you trade out because you're not paying as much on interest. That's why credit score is really important, especially in today's economy. Having a 600 versus 700, you're talking about 2 different lives you'll live. It is very expensive being poor. I'm glad you're able to climb yourself out of it.
I'll definitely pass you on to a couple of my boys and homegirls because they got some issues too. So
please do, man.
Where you located in Miami?
Yes, sir. I'm located in Miami right now. I sold my dealership. I may be staying here. I may be moving to DC and maybe moving into Atlanta. I don't know, right? The sky's the limit right now. I'm excited to elevate and grow into something bigger. So we'll see what happens.
I'll still keep in contact with you on Instagram or something. I'll watch the stories. Interesting. It's good feedback.
Good luck on your search for a Dodge or a family car, and hopefully it's not a soccer mom car, and we'll definitely keep in touch.
All right. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. Bye. Guys, this is another reason why it's very important to be patient and work on your credit. This is a perfect example of a person who understood that they needed to do what they needed to do and then work towards a better future. Not only did he was able to buy a home, he's going to buy a nice car that can fit the family, but also isn't a soccer mom like. And sometimes, if you need to buy a soccer mom car, buy a soccer mom car. Pay the stuff off that you can. Everybody says, Yusuf, I can't afford this. I want to buy that. I want to buy this. You don't need it. If you can afford a $300,000 home and it's 3 bedrooms and you got 5 kids, make it work. You don't need to put yourself in a position that you keep paying expensive amount of rent, this, that, and the third. If you can't afford a mortgage, then just rent. You don't need to buy a home if you can't afford it. Live within your means. Make better decisions in this new coming year. And these next couple of days, really understand what can you do to make better decisions for you and your family